Hey everybody, you're back. My name is Naomi, and in this little spot of the internet, I really love to tune in to the energies of the week, the month, or special occasions and see what wisdom there is for us. And I do that by weaving in astrology and a bunch of different oracle decks and yeah, you just kind of see what's in store, what kind of message comes through. Every day I do this, it just feels like it's such good medicine for clarity and just curiosity, because that's good too. So, on the astrological front, today actually is a really special occasion. So, we've got the sun holding hands with the beautiful fixed star Regulus, which is the heart, the shining heart of the lion. And what is so beautiful about this is that, first of all, the sun, when it is touching, and I say that like as if they really are, but from our perspective, we see them as like directly on top of each other, right next to each other. And what happens, energetically or spiritually for us is that that star's wisdom, medicine, information is illuminated by the sun. And the literal waves, particles of sunlight that come shining through our atmosphere and meet us in our bodies, it is mingled with that starlight energy. If you think about that, like I get super geeked out about this, where it's like just thinking that you are being washed in the starlight. And I mean, we all are all the time, right? From all the different stars around us. But when the sun is touching one particular star, it really just magnifies it and it brings it closer to home. Because I feel like the sun is, you know, our illuminating force internally. I feel like we have three suns glowing very bright if we allow them to live. That, like the three cauldrons in some practices, where I feel like we've got the illuminated sun of the heart, the illuminated sun of the Hara chakra, and the illuminated sun of the third eye or the pineal gland. And yeah, so this moment right now in astrology or astrologically, it just feels like extra spicy. And partly it's because, this Leo heart energy is calling on our inner courageous, brave, uh, healed person. It is like that inner warrior that's ready and is brave for whatever is happening next. So anyway, a little bit more about that particular star, Regulus, is that in ancient astrology, going back to, this has actually been mentioned in the Bible and different places where the Archangel Regulus, Raphael, and Regulus were associated with each other. And these particular fixed stars, there's Regulus, Aldebaran. Let's see if I can name them all. I probably won't be able to right now. Yeah, Antares. Anyway, I won't test myself that hardcore here. Anyway, these were all the heralds of the seasons. And so right now for us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's summer, but we are now transitioning and leaning into the energy that will be fall. And so this star, it was actually kind of like a timekeeper, for the ones that would look at the heavens and the cosmos as a calendar, as the way to gauge time and the movement through the seasons. And so when this star was in this spot, it was telling everyone that we're moving towards fall, and that fall is right on the horizon, and that it's time to do the work that is required for fall time, which is, of course, bringing in the harvest, planting different things for winter. All of the winter prep is time. It's time, it's time, it's time. So, and celebrating, just the joys of summertime. So anyway, Archangel Raphael was associated with Regulus. And this particular archangel, I actually grabbed out my the Dictionary of Angels, and technically not my book, it's my husband's book. He's had this for a very, very long time, and even when we first met, I would see this on the shelf and I was like, ooh, I want that book. So I have adopted this book. Anyway, when I was looking up Archangel Raphael, which there is so much information about this particular angel. And I will actually go into this real quick about that my view on angels and archangels isn't really like a religious lens. It's a useful term to talk about this hierarchy of energy. And I see the archangels as facets of that universal intelligence that is at the source of all things, that great spirit energy. If it were to be, if that great spirit or source or God or universal, whatever, that thing that I'm talking about that animates and gives life force energy to all things. If we look at that as a diamond with, actually, that's probably why I hung that up, as a diamond with all these different facets. Some of the facets of this great spirit would be the archangels. And so really it's just like another smaller, fractal piece of this energy. And so that's the way I see it. I like having names like Archangel Raphael. It gives them a bit of a personality, and it kind of brings it a little closer to earth, where we like to personify things. We like to, relate to things. And when we give things a name and a personality, we can start building closer relationship with them as people, because some of these forces are so abstract and so much bigger that in truth they really aren't people. It's something bigger than what we can really wrap our minds around. So it's useful to have these names. So anyway, going into this book, Raphael in biblical lore was he was the archangel who was one of the watchers. He was one of the guardians of the sky, and he was the guardian of the north. And Raphael was charged to heal the earth, and through him, he was to make the earth a beautiful abode for man. And he was said to heal all sorts of maladies. So the one catch is that, we look around and we see all this suffering and all these different things going on, and we're like, well, where the heck is Archangel Raphael? I mean, there's all these people hurting and suffering. So what? Well, the thing is that we operate in a universe of free will, and we need to ask. We need to specifically ask for help. And we come here to Earth School because we have a divine mission to learn. And we learn in all sorts of ways. And if we don't ask for help, then the universal unconditional love energy out there is going to support you in learning however which way you need to. So they have infinite compassion for us, but will not infringe on our free will ever. So one of the biggest pieces of all of this is to call in that energy, that energy of the healing wisdom of Great Spirit, of universal source energy, to actually come through and give us some divine healing. So anyway, he was also identified as the Archangel of the Sun, which I think is actually quite lovely. And he was the regent of the sun, which I think is really cool. So yeah, and he was the one that would help with physical healing, mental healing, spiritual healing. So ailments, like actual diseases and things like that. So let's call on this energy to really give us exactly the type of energy, the type of healing that we need right now to feel better, to feel like our most healthy, vital selves. So I have lit this green candle. The lighting shows it as it's almost white on the camera, but it is like a sea foam, very pleasing green. And I have specifically asked Archangel Raphael to infuse the energy of healing, physical healing, mental healing, spiritual healing into this candle, and anchor that for us today through, the sacred flame. And since we're in Virgo, that's really that's the name of the game for Virgo, is that sacred flame. I feel like I don't want it to tip over. So yeah, so let's actually just call on this universal energy and our guides and all of that to come through. And what do we need to know today? So we're going to start actually pulling from these cards. Oh yeah. Yeah. The cards that I'm pulling on right now are ones that I haven't actually done publicly yet for anyone really. I gave it a test run with a friend and it went well. So it's the Galactic Heritage cards. And these are by Lissa Royale Holt. And she's really fascinating. If you don't know much about her, she is a conscious channel, and she opens up the doors of her awareness and communicates with other forces of nature, with other beings out there. And the information and wisdom that come through is just incredible. And she's written many, many books and is really on the front of conscious contact with beings that are outside of, you know, physical dimensions. So I think I'm just so fascinated by that. I love to hear other people doing that kind of work because it really helps validate others to know that we're not just crazy people, and that we do actually in many different ways tune in and listen to other beings out there, and that we're not alone. We're never alone. So anyway, I'm going to use her cards and see what comes through today. Asking the sun, who is aligned with Regulus, and ask what energy, what healing, what wisdom do we need to know right now? Okay. So the first card is number 13, Birth and Expansion. And then the second card is Ultimate Evolution, Zeta Reticuli, and then Lyra. I'm going to read what these cards have to say. So the way that these cards work, so that, as I'm reading, it makes a little bit more sense. She taps into what I would actually call ancestral wisdom, but not just ancestral earth wisdom. This is the ancestry of the entire galaxy. And what I think is pretty incredible is that, all of the different things and situations that we are going through and living and experiencing here right now, they have seeds or the, I guess, yeah, they have roots, and I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, they go back to times where this happened originally. And these times that we experience, let's say war, or there's many different, you know, yeah, situations that come up, different triggers and traumas and things, that those actually were rooted in long ancient past. And that, the ancestral, galactic ancestral um, things that have come through sprout and take root now because they're coming up, that we haven't processed and healed them fully. So this actually goes all the way back to the root of when that trauma or the whatever first happened, so that we can actually do the healing all the way back through time. It's fascinating. I don't think I explained that very well, but just, I guess, bear with me. So, number 13. As the Lyran civilization grew, it unleashed a tremendous amount of creative energy. There was so much excitement to build this new civilization and expand into the galaxy. It was a time of optimism, enthusiasm, and creative experimentation. This card reminds you of that ancient time that you were a part of, and it encourages you once again to find that creative spark within you. Don't be afraid of your creativity. There were times when you were punished for it, but that reality has passed. It's time to release the karmic pattern of fearing your creativity and trust the universe to support it. So for those, oh man, this right here, wow. We're going into Virgo season, and this is something essential to the healing of Virgo. And so, to my Virgos out there, if you fear your creativity, this actually is rooted back to ancient, ancient, ancient time, where when you actually express your creativity, which is a sacral chakra energy, the creativity comes from that womb energy, and it is very primal, it is very sexual, not in like, I mean, it is, it's the life force creative energy of the universe. However, it's not always sexual, right? It is also, in the things that we write, or you sing, all the different things that we make with our hands. It's coming from that womb energy. So there was a time going back, and it was talking about, this time actually goes all the way back to a civilization named Lyra. And I won't really touch on that right now, because this is far greater, but you can by all means take a look at Lissa Royale's, wealth of information. It's amazing. So that goes back to this time where the masculine energy was also very repressed, not it was repressing the feminine, and all that was that creative life force energy was being tamped down. But they healed that and actually went forth, and they decided to birth new things, and like enjoy their creativity and express it without fear. So I guess what Regulus and this sun energy is really coming through to say is that it's here to like burn away the residue from that time and place whenever your creativity was shamed or squashed or in some way rejected, that is no longer actually true moving forward. It doesn't have to be true. It can be true if you choose it to be, but you can move through and actually burn away. Let's let that candle just burn away the residue that's keeping your creative energy from flourishing fully. So I just think that is so cool coming through right now. And we all have Virgo in our chart. So it would actually be kind of interesting to see what house Virgo is for you and what planets you've got within that sign, because that will actually give you smaller containers to see. Let's say if you have like what's coming through is like Saturn in Virgo. Well, then, have you been over disciplined in your creativity? Have you been told that creativity only looks a certain way and that if you don't make it just like this, that it is not appreciated or beautiful? And so, that like Saturn in Libra Libra, whoops, Saturn in Virgo energy, it would be to restructure that and format that for yourself. And think outside the box and know that in this energetic soup that we're in, everything is being showered with unconditional love, and those old repressive boxes are actually dissolving as we speak right now. Like Pluto in Capricorn, like it is dissolving and going to continue to dissolve. So the pattern of having our creativity repressed is no longer actually serving us and is no longer something we need to carry forward. So the next card, and I have an interesting relationship with the art here. It's interesting. I appreciate it, but it is definitely interesting. Not for everyone, I think. It's an interesting art style. However, I do actually really connect to it in that the images speak something greater than words. And so this is interesting. Let's actually see what this card is talking about. 100, card number 100. Okay. So this card represents the birth of a new species. Oh, wow. Okay, so we had birth and expansion, and then ultimate evolution, which is, wow, representing the birth of a new species. The Zetas transform themselves from a species of fear and limitation to one of higher consciousness, compassion, and love. It was not an easy road, but an immensely fulfilling one. Because of this, they can now assist countless other species in their evolution. This card represents your personal evolution. You have the capability to make dramatic changes in who you are by walking through the fire, confronting rather than avoiding your fears, asking for help, and trusting the process. Your galactic family is with you, and you are not alone. These are all things that wow. Okay, these all were words that were already spoken just right here. That's kind of amazing. So what's really coming through, and whoa, the downloads, is that this wisdom, this information that's radiating down from solar consciousness, from the sun, And from this archangel of, physical, mental, and spiritual healing, the wisdom that is coming through is that, guys, we are on a huge evolutionary path. That what's happening for all of us right now collectively is we are on the cusp. We are birthing a new version of humanity, of who we are. This is us. We are, merging with all of our past. And this is why past lives come up so much. This is why ancestral healing has been coming up so much. And this is why stuff like this, galactic history, ET contact, all of these different things is coming right now, is because we are on the verge of transforming our connection to the rest of the cosmos. It's so big. It's so freaking wild. And this is why I love doing these readings, is because it's just further clarifying we are not alone. We are not alone. We don't need to be this like little isolated little planet hanging out by itself in the galaxy, in the universe anymore. We actually are connected to these life-giving energies, the energies of the archangels, the energies of these different galactic species. They are actually part of us because if we go back, not just the time that we have been here on Earth living and gathering our DNA history, but we go back even further than that. We go back beyond our first lifetimes on Earth, and that this energy is coming up to be looked at, to be healed, to be integrated. And we're on a path of huge spiritual evolution. I don't know if anybody out there has heard of this, and I would love to open the conversation that people are moving into a time where our bodies, our actual physical structures will be developed more into crystalline structure rather than carbon structure. That our actual DNA and I don't have any idea what that will look like. And I have no idea how long that will take. Will that be, 26,000 years from now that, our entire, what we look like as people will be different? I have no idea. I have no idea. But it is fascinating nonetheless. So yeah, wow. The information coming through from that star is just like incredible. So now let's zoom it down to Earth a little bit more, because these cards, I tell you, are very galactic. They're very poof out there. They're very wide angle lens. So now let's actually boil it a little bit further down and see a little bit more practically what the sun and the star Regulus are trying to inform us right now. Okay. Oh, well, here we go. Portal. Doors opening. You decide rewards wildcard. Well, portal. What other portal is there, right? Then like birth, the portal of birth, that is the door of spirit, like the spirit, and then it manifests and turns into physical, and then the door opens and then we are born. Wow. So okay, portal, but remember we're boiling this down into something a bit more practical. So what's coming through the portal is deep cellular healing. Whoa, right? And this angel is specifically about deep cellular healing, physical, mental, spiritual healing. And so I definitely encourage, I strongly, strongly encourage you to tune your like the energy infused into this candle right now is that of this archangel, this Raphael, this beautiful Raphael, whose name means God is healed, or the healing hand of God. How fascinating. So, really just like pour in what it is that you need physical, mental, spiritual healing for, and we'll give it to this archangel. We'll give it to this healing force of the universe to actually help us with deep cellular healing. The healing that, it requires sleep, it requires a lot of self-care. So eating well. And then also, I think it's beautiful that Arcturus energy is down here. It says Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. So, and frankly, I don't know how Raphael and Arcturus energy mix and combine, but they, at least from what I know of that kind of like that Arcturus energy, they always feel like spiritual doctors. So perhaps they're gonna be our spiritual doctors tonight. So call on that as you're sleeping. Call on that energy of deep rest, of whatever energy that you need to really deeply heal. And yeah, I think that's beautiful. I'm feeling the need for a crystal. So let's ask for a crystal. And I think actually an animal. I really want to call an animal in today. Maybe we do all three. Should we do all three? A crystal, an animal, and a plant. So let's see what crystal, what animal and what plant can we call on to support our deep cellular healing right now. So this is for deep cellular healing. Oh, wow. Okay. So this one is Clear Quartz, the most programmable stone out there. Liquid source energy, like manifested into the physical. And it's called, like the little words up here, if you can't read them, say the only thing. The only thing. Oh, and how I love that painting right there is a crystal that was in my dream, and I wanted to capture it. It's still a work in progress. But what's kind of cool is that I painted some with glow-in-the-dark paint. So when you turn off the light and you use that purple light, it glows. So, and that was what I wanted to capture from my dream. I like to paint from my dreams a lot. So quartz, clear quartz, and a quick little exercise with clear quartz. And I have one on hand. Always have your crystal quartz on hand. Is that they really do listen and hold that energy of deep healing. If you think about crystal, they grow very, very slowly, and their pattern is the whole way through, the pattern is unbroken, and it is, it's like a ladder of consciousness. So basically, when you actually whisper into a cleared crystal, it's actually kind of nice that you clear it first, and you can go lay it in the ground or even charge it in the sun right now with that Regulus energy coming through. Capture a little bit of that energy into your crystal, and then whisper into the crystal what it is that you want to heal, what it is that you need to know, what it is that maybe you don't know what you need. And really, you're just asking for help and for guidance and some clarity on what do I need that will help me feel better right now. And you can whisper that into the crystal, connect it to your heart, and really just allow that crystal to guide and anchor spirit into your body in a different way. I absolutely treasure quartz crystal. There's so many things that you can do with it. So now let's actually ask an animal. Let's ask a spirit animal. Wow, it just fell right out. Oh, look at that. And this is the cow, the sacred cow and bull. And it says at the top, appreciate the process. And I love that there are these pyramids in the back. It instantly makes me think of Hathor and her, that Taurus, sensual, strong energy. There's a bit of a glare, isn't there? Yeah. Anyway, apologies for the glare. But yeah, wow, that beautiful, sacred cow energy. There's cows are so revered and so sacred in so many cultures. And I'd love to know deeper spiritual reasons as to why. Why is Hathor a bull, a cow? Why do the people in India revere the cow? I would love to know more about that. And that's not something that I actually know off the top of my head. And just know that, the cow has been connected to ancient cultures throughout time. So, and the cow is coming through right now of strength, stability, and the sweetness. If you really think of like cow energy, they're just so peaceful and so they're just calmly munching the grass and yeah. But they're also like immovable objects. Like, my goodness. I drove past a whole bunch of cows one time, and they're like taller than my car. They're huge. So they are a force to be reckoned with, but they don't seem to really use that force. They just are. They just are that force. Okay, and so now let's call on a plant. A plant energy, an herb. One of the green bloods. What plant? Guys, help me out. What plant wants to come through? Because these cards seem to be rather quiet. So, oh, thanks. I love that you guys helped me with that. Even though, so it's just so cold. So, marshmallow? Could it be marshmallow? Are we being encouraged to eat marshmallows? I'm all on board. I love that. Marshmallow, and look at the picture of this. It's just so like sugary and sweet and celebratory, and look at these like pillows that this cake is lifted up on, and it's just it's just so beautiful. And I know that, marshmallow root is a very healing, it is a very healing herb. And I know that I've made this was back when Taya was first born, and I remember a lady that I talked to, she recommended marshmallow root. And it felt very slippery in my hands. It's a very slippery thing. Let's read from the book what that says. Maybe we'll read from the book about cow too. But let's see, marshmallow. Good grief, I love the art. It's just so beautiful. Okay. It says, there's nothing Marshmallow would love more than to spend time in your kitchen. She'll lean over your shoulder, offering suggestions for adorning your salads and thickening your soups. There's no reason for foul tasting anything, including medicine. Oh, I love that. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Heck yeah. Okay. She should know. She has been at this since around 2000 BCE. Egypt, my dear. She'll tell you, was a lovely place. I fed the pharaoh and I fed the gods. But marshmallows, not oh my goodness, my reading, sorry about that. But marshmallows, not one to dwell in the past. She takes too much joy in bringing ease to the present, and there's so much work to do. Digestion these days. She tisks at this as she sets about creating her latest confection. So call on Marshmallow when you need to soften and rediscover the sweetness. And like specifically around the medicine that, sometimes medicine can be very bitter, and the things that we need in order to heal our physical bodies sometimes are bitter medicines and they are not yummy. And so remembering that we can call Marshmallow in. Maybe you do this for real, like, and do some kind of confection around Marshmallow, but to soften and soothe and help that medicine actually go into the deep cells of our being in a soft and sweet and delicious way, and an ancient way. Did you see how it was associated? She even made the connection to ancient Egypt with Hathor. Do you think this is an accident? I don't think so. Because of course on this channel, everything is synchronistic, right? So let's see about the cow 51. 51, which we know is associated with Hathor. Okay. Oh, I'm loving this reading today, guys. Okay. All right. A lot of what cow and bull eat is indigestible to other animals. Wow. Okay. So here we are about eating things that are indigestible, the medicine that is so bitter that we're not digesting it properly. Whoa. So cow and bull munch on field grass, undeterred by the tenacious fiber. After filling their bellies, they lie down to chew their cud, calmly working over the same meal, breaking it into smaller and smaller bits. Cows and bulls, like good therapists, know how to process. They luxuriate in regurgitation and slow assimilation, taking what is unpalatable and making it into a full meal. To the ancients, this made them gods and goddesses, bringing fecundity in even the hardest conditions. For modern humans, cows and bull remind us to relax and appreciate the process, the slow rumination that allows even the toughest problems to become digestible. Cow and bull remind you that almost anything can be handled and assimilated if you give it time. What amazing messages coming through with the cow that knows how to slowly turn harsh fibers into digestible things, and then Marshmallow coming in to actually sweeten and lift all of that up and make it fun and inviting. I mean, wow. And then, of course, with quartz being the ever programmable crystal, now, of course, I mean, I just love her words. And we might as well just read everything, right? Let's just read the whole book. So, thanks for sticking with me while we do this all. But then again, of course, this is for you. So you get to really soak this in, I hope. 159. I'm looking for that page. 150. Oh, is it the very last one? Yep, it was the very last. Look through the entire book. Okay. Oh my goodness. And this is an up close picture. Aren't these pictures just gorgeous? Like, I love how she illustrates. Okay. So it is said that in ancient Asia, people would put clear quartz outside the temple to collect the energy of the monks' prayers. An egg waiting to be hatched, a song waiting to be sung. Clear quartz is a basket, a womb, a potential to become, and the ancient healers knew this. Some say they used clear quartz wands, allowing it to amplify and direct the energy they generated within themselves. What if, Clear Quartz asks, you didn't need a bunch of sacred tools? What if you only needed to learn how to grow an intention, direct it with your will, and amplify its effects? What could you create? What problems could you solve? What could you put down if clear quartz was the only thing you needed to pick up? Wow. The only tool we need in our whole arsenal of tools is one simple piece of crystal, one clear quartz. And so that's our homework, our sacred homework for us today is let's go find the quartz that sings to you. We probably all have a little piece of clear quartz somewhere in our home. And if not, clear quartz is the most abundant crystal out there, and I guarantee you can go on a walk and you can find a little piece of stone, and if it is kind of milky and white, I guarantee it has quartz in it. Even if it's just one cell of quartz, that's all you need. And you can lay it outside in the sun because there's still some sunlight left. And of course, this is a complete timeless reading. It doesn't matter if the sun is no longer conjunct Regulus. This happens all day, all year. And you just simply lay this quartz out on the earth, let it tune into the wisdom of Gaia and the cosmos and the infinite heartbeat. And then when it is nice and cleared up and ready, you simply connect with your heart, gather in the energy that will most support you in doing all of this work, this beautiful work that we're doing, that we just pulled in with the reading. And I love to sleep with my crystals. I tuck them under my pillow. I lay them on my heart. Wow, this crystal just gave me a little gift. A little tiny piece just came off of the crystal. My friends, wow. Okay. I'm going to put this little crystal on top of the reading today, on top of the card named Portal. And I am going to blow the energy of the reading into the crystal that we have here. All of this energy of the sun, Archangel Regulus, I keep calling it Regulus, Archangel Raphael, and its physical representation of Regulus, the sacred cow, quartz crystal, our ancient galactic ancestral lines coming forward today and just in our present lives to be seen and witnessed and healed and processed and held and learned and grown from. And of course, that sweet little marshmallow. Let's let marshmallow sweeten the entire thing. That our deep cellular healing connected from this moment on just be sweet, and deep. So much healing packed into this minuscule little crystal. Look at how tiny it is. This is my pinky nail. And you can all watch me as I put it into the fire and put it into the candle. So just take a moment, infusing this crystal with your own love and energy, your own wisdom and healing for not just you, but for everyone else that tunes into this reading, and to your family and your friends and all of your beloveds. May they also receive all the wellness and healing that they need. And let's just, as always, my paintings are magical. We'll infuse that with the dream time crystal that came through. And then we will pop it into the candle. Right. Wow. That's pretty cool. I love doing magic with you. I love doing readings with you. And I'll put the cards right here next to the candle. And we will see each other next time. So I wanted to just say that if you're still hanging out with me to this point right here, it's very now I understand why people all across YouTube do this. Well, please give it a little thumbs up because it helps other people to find this channel and to find me doing these things. Please subscribe because that also, it's that funny little robot that helps other people to find this information, this message that is coming through. And this healing is for everyone. And, I would love for it to reach more people. So, yeah, and please share this with any of your friends that may like to have different this in their lives, and anybody that might benefit from this healing. And of course, you all do your thing, and I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you all are doing and connect with you in other ways aside from just here energetically. And yeah, all the best to you. So much love, so much light, all of those things. And yeah, we'll just like release the guides and thank them. And then with a little other side note is that we have changed the date to Ancestor Alchemy. It is now in November, and it is going to be, I'm going to do a whole video on just this, but yeah, November 5th through the 10th, if I'm remembering my dates right. But anyway, that has changed. The link is going to be down in the description box, and I would love to see any of you there. We only have a couple spots left, so get on it. And stay tuned for all the other different events and things that I'm going to hold in the future. So those are to be announced soon. And until then, all the best. Bye.